Welcome back, whiskey friends. We are on our second installment of actually tasting some bourbon, finding out which category of bourbon really appeals to our palate. And honestly, day one was a little bit of a surprise to me. I didn't think it would come out that way, but let's dive back in and let's see if we get the same results. Okay, we're back. Last time we were together, uh, I believe the high rye came in first. Um, the traditional came in second, and the wheated came in last, which kind of surprised me. I won't tell you why because I don't want to skew your journey with my own preconceived ideas. So, anyways, I went ahead and I poured out of each container into the corresponding glass. I actually reduced the amount um, to a half an ounce because I just found I had a lot of extra and I really didn't want to drink that much. So I had to pour it out, and I don't like to waste bourbon. So um, just to let you know, when I typically uh, do a pour for myself, it's usually anywhere from an ounce and a half to 2 ounces. I never really drink more than that. Um, it's something that I do in the evenings. I like to just pour myself a pour and sip on it as I'm reading or scrolling social media, watching bourbon videos, or watching maybe a television show, which I really kind of rarely do anymore. Just my own reasons why I don't care for television that much anymore. But, anyways, today I've added some water. I'm going to rinse my palate to discern um more uniquely which one each is without that cross contamination going on. So let's go ahead and take our first sip of the day and see what's going on with it. Yeah, so maybe today, let's do this. Maybe today, see if you can pick out one note. Don't try and pick them all out. Just see if you can uh, uh, drink it and say, "Oh yeah, I can taste whatever." Okay, and just keep a mental note of that. I wouldn't necessarily say you have to write these down yet. We'll get into that, but for now, just as we train our palate, we want our palate and our mind to kind of connect, and we want our mind to know what it's looking for. So this is a training process, right? There's a connection from here to here and from here to here, and we're going to be working on making those connections um, really effortlessly. So at first it's hard. I've been so frustrated. I don't know about you, but I've watched a lot of bourbon reviews, and when I take a sip of the same bourbon that they've just reviewed, I can't taste anything um, other than the basic, maybe caramel, oak, vanilla. Beyond that, it just gets lost. So, anyways, so that was the first one. I want to say it was maybe slightly spicy, maybe a hint of pepper, but I'm going to have to drink it some more. This is the second one. Hmm. Maybe a sweetness. Kind of like that one. So what I'm gonna do is, for now, I'm just gonna pull that one forward because out of the two, that's the one I liked. Oh, let's try this one. Hmm. I want to say candy, like a hard candy, like maybe cherry candy. I don't know. You know how long it's been since I've had a cherry candy, but yeah, and that's the fun of bourbon, right? Like I might taste something and get a spiral lollipop out of it. You might taste it and get baked bread. Our palates are different. Um, it's just fun to get to know your palate. So I think I'm going to rate them this way. The one, as I like them, they're closer to me. So uh, this one, and then this one. So now I'm going to drink them backwards. Yeah, that one's good. I like that one. So here's a little folklore. In the colonial days, the spirit that um, everybody drank was rum. Rum was easily imported. England could easily tax it, and boy, they did. Um, it was just in abundance, and so everybody drank rum. Well, I think it was General Washington started hearing about this spirit that the Scottish Irish immigrants were distilling and not wanting to be under English rule and English taxation. Washington started looking at the spirit that they were calling whiskey. And so, by and large, what he did was uh, I believe, our troops were given rations of some kind of spirit, and he started getting rid of the rum and started using whiskey. And so that's how whiskey first gained its popularity. It was these backwoods Irish, Scottish immigrants that were distilling this spirit off the beaten trail. It wasn't widely known. It wasn't in abundance. It was kind of rare, but it wasn't being taxed. And so Washington saw it as a way that um, he could distribute it, um, and he could also tax it apart from the English tax on rum. And so that's kind of how that went. Let's take another drink. Yeah, I'm gonna actually switch these two. Now you see, I spent a little bit of time talking, and I did that on purpose. I wanted my palate to kind of simmer down a little bit and not be so sensitive, because when you drink bourbon, uh, the the ethanol that's in there will actually open everything up, and so you're really kind of shocking your palate into a state of awareness. And so it's good to kind of let it kind of simmer down. So that first sip, that is always going to be just a little bit kind of strong, but as you sip it, you'll notice that your palate simmers down and really becomes sophisticated, and tastes all the wonderful, beautiful flavors that are in it. So here we go with this one. So I'm getting banana bread, even when I smell it. Banana bread. I think I know what that is. Um, yeah, so I'm going to move that there, and I'm going to move that there. Yeah, so George Washington had a huge role in the bourbon world. He, I wouldn't call him the father of bourbon, but I would call him an early proponent of bourbon. In fact, he had a still, um, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit. I think the still is, I don't think the equipment's still there, but I think the place where the still was, that you can go visit that. Um, very, very, very interesting. So now I'm going to start with this one. Yeah, that is, I think it's really oaky, kind of bitter. Let's call that bitter. At first, I thought there was some sweetness there, but I would say it's bitter. Yeah. And again, that could just be the distillery that made it. It has nothing to do with the category it's in, but maybe that particular bottle just comes off a little bit bitter. Okay, here's the our what we would say is in first place. Yeah, I don't. I'm still kind of getting the candy flavors. Um, Not as much. Yeah, that one's kind of stumping me a little bit. So this is the one that was in second, that I like second. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this way. This is the banana bread one. I really like that. So now it's between these two. So I don't have to drink this one anymore. This one, this is what I'm picking for first. Now let's just see where these two lie as far as second and third. Yeah, guys, don't beat yourself up if you're not getting flavors like marzipan, uh, praline ice cream, cotton candy, um, blueberry Jolly Ranchers. I mean, these are flavor notes that are relating to people's minds at some point in their history. They had a blueberry uh, Jolly Rancher, and that flavor is just really stuck in their head. And so when they drank a particular pour of whiskey, um, it just excites that memory. So really, what is happening is your mind has all of these flavors stored, and it might take a while to unlock them, to make that connection between what's going on inside your mouth and what your mind uh, remembers. So be patient. Don't beat yourself up. Don't think that, oh, I'll never be TJ from Bruzel or um, a guy like ADH Whiskey. I mean, these guys are really good at what they do, but I would imagine they've been doing it for quite a while. You'll get there. You'll develop your own file cabinet of tasting notes and what you get on your nose, the nosing notes. You'll have your own file cabinets, and you'll be able to pull from those um, more readily as you use them the most. Okay, if you have a file cabinet and you haven't opened it in years, you really don't know what's in there. But the more you're in there, the more you're like, oh yeah, I know where this file is. I know where this file is, because you're accessing it more. So just really be patient with the process. It's a journey. It's a journey, and I don't think you'll ever get to the end of it, but it definitely gets easier as you go. Okay, that was the third place. Pretty good. Um, this is the second place. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Oh, that bitterness. I don't know. Let's just leave it there. It's not rocket science. I can be wrong. I can be wrong all day long. I could get totally different results than I did on our last video. That's okay. It's a different day. It's a different time. I've had different things um, in my mouth that I've been tasting throughout the day. Um, and it could just affect my palate completely different than it did on the last tasting that we had. So let's see what we got. Right, this is the exciting part. This is the part that I get anxious about, and I really love. So in first place, well, let's do this. Let's go third place. Third place is the Knob Creek. So that's number 2. And that's the traditional. Okay. Second place, number 1, and that was the Weeded. And then first place was the High Rye. So High Rye is consistently coming in number 1, which totally surprises me. I just wonder if it isn't that particular bottle that I really like. It'll be interesting to see when I switch the bottles, if I still stick in that category. So High Rye was number 1, and then number 2 was the Weeded, which last time the Weeded was last. So the Weeded and the traditional have switched places. And again, that's just how maybe it's hitting my palate. So anyways, guys, hope you're having fun with this journey. I hope that you're discovering things that really are motivating you, exciting you, to get into bourbon a little more, or maybe just bring in some clarity, right? Maybe you've been drinking bourbon for years, but you have never really been intentional with it. And so my hope is that the intentionality that comes with these types of exercises can really help you with what you're doing. Now, just to let you know, there's no bottle here that is more than $70. I think the Rebel, the Weeder, which is actually coming in last, is the most expensive at 70. The High Rye comes in around 65. Now these are MSRP prices. It might be different than where you're at. I don't know. And then the traditional is really the Knob Creek 9 is like a $40 MSRP bottle. So we're not talking high end stuff here. It's just stuff that's readily available that we can get, that we can try out at a reasonable price. We're not breaking the bank, but we're exercising our palates and discovering what our palates like. So anyways, guys, as always, drink responsibly, be safe, have fun, and I'll see you on the next one.